Hi guys, welcome to Skincare and Beyond, your new beauty podcast that goes deeper than skin deep. Today I'm joined by Caroline Sims. She's the founder of natural supplements brand Botanycl. Hi Caroline.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming up to Wakefield.
Anytime.
We're going to start off by talking a little bit about how it all started. Mm-hmm. Firstly, congratulations on Botanycl.
Thank you.
It's a brilliant brand and I know there must be a lot of blood, sweat and tears that goes into it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Did you ever think when you were younger that you would be a brand founder?
No, definitely not. What my dreams were when I was really little, but I guess when I went to uni and did a psychology degree, I still didn't know what I was going to do. And that's when I went into mental health after that. And the reason I went into mental health in the first place was because of experiencing anxiety myself. So I think the way that my career has ended up going is a lot of my personal struggles have led to me wanting to create something out of that. So like the anxiety is why I went into mental health, and then struggles with my skin and my acne is what led me to create the brand and, find a solution to my problems. So, I didn't ever envisage the way that it's played out, but I'm really happy with the way it's turned out.
I think that shows a good amount of emotional intelligence, though, to go through things, but also on top of that, think about how you can also support other people that are going through it. I think it's brilliant when brands do that, when you genuinely are helping a community that you can also relate to as well. Yeah. That's where like the extra passion comes in at that point. Yeah,
the passion and also the empathy as well. Because, with psychology, when I was actually seeing patients one-to-one or in a group setting, just having been through similar anxieties just gives you an ability to help people in a different way. Yeah. Because it's not just going through the protocol of the treatments. There's an additional part of like compassion there. And that's the same with people struggling with their skin now. I remember what it was like when I was 25 and I'm able to relate to people in a way that I guess it's more of an emotional connection rather than just, here's a product. Yeah. There's more of a compassion there behind it.
Yeah, and that really helps grow the community, I guess, because you have that shared experience in it. And it does, as humans, we are bonded through our shared experiences.
Yeah.
Perfect. So let's talk a little bit about your journey with acne then. I have also struggled with acne, so probably essentially similar experience to you. When did it start and kind of, I guess, the journey for you in terms of how it affected your mental health and your confidence?
Yeah, I struggled with acne when I was a teenager, like so many teenagers do. But I kind of expected that, once I get into my 20s, it would start to, reduce. And I would say there was a reduction at the beginning of my 20s, but for some reason when I was 25, I'm not sure if it was hormonal, I had a really big flare up and it was much bigger than I ever had when I was in my teens. It really affected my self-esteem when I was 25, especially because I felt like I was the only one, even though I wasn't. But there isn't that much education, or there is now, luckily, but at the time there wasn't much education online about adult acne. It was all very much focused on, teenage years and you'll grow out of it and things like that. So I felt very alone in it. I also, I just got out of a relationship and I was newly single. I think actually over that period I did meet my partner, but it was a kind of one of those vulnerable stages of my life where I was meeting new people for the first time, and I guess I felt like I needed to be really confident and I didn't feel confident. So that affected all of my relationships. My skin affected my relationships. Looking back now, I've got a very different thinking on skin, and, I wish that, I could have spoken to myself back then and said, it doesn't matter. Like if your skin is not looking, perfect, it doesn't matter. Like you can still go out and have a great time and socialize and, don't let it, affect who you are.
Yeah. But I think at that point it becomes more of a, like you say, a mental health issue. It's so intertwined, isn't it?
Yeah.
That, you can't see the wood from the trees sometimes when you're in it.
Yeah.
It's only when you look back that you realise.
Yeah, with hindsight.
It wasn't. But, you have to appreciate at the time, it does affect your confidence. It 100% does. And I think because it's so visual on your face, everybody, when you meet someone for the first time, they're looking at your face, aren't they? Mm-hmm. They're kind of reacting to how you are and how you behave. Yeah. And if it's something that does affect your self-esteem, then it's only natural that you're going to link the two together. Yeah,
it's a vicious cycle, really. And because, you kind of assume, well, I did at the time, that everyone is looking at your flaws. I had a history of a challenging relationship before that affected my self-esteem as well. So I was already in a place where insecurities, I let them get to me too much at the time. I was desperate for a solution to my skin problems at the time.
I had it in my teens. And then in my 20s, similar to you, you used to just get random flare-ups. And I don't really know why they happened, but I do think that stress plays a big part in it. Like you say, if, things are different in your life, you haven't gone through different life changes.
Yeah.
But similar to you, it's definitely changing. Tides are changing with that. And there is more about adult acne now. And I think we've definitely got better about embracing natural skin, which is really great now. Yeah. So let's go into a bit about the herbal route then, and why you decided to go down that route. I'm guessing, like myself, you tried lots of different treatments and products before you decided to go down that route.
Yeah, I went to the doctor a lot and tried the creams, benzoyl peroxide, retinoids. I had laser treatment as well, which actually damaged my skin more and left some scarring after the laser. But not to say that all lasers do that, but the particular one I had, quite a harsh laser.
Yeah.
So I also realised the one thing I hadn't tried was looking into my hormones, and I wasn't allowed to go on birth control at the time because of a history of migraines. So I saw that a lot of people get great results from taking contraception for their skin. Helps with estrogen levels, but also reduces androgen levels. So that's where I started to think, I wonder if there's like a herbal alternative where I can reduce my androgens, because a lot of my research showed me that androgens were one of the key hormones that create excess oil production in the skin and clogged pores.
Okay. So what do androgens actually do? Like, why do we need them in our body?
Men and women both have androgens. They're a form of testosterone, and they just help balance out. We have obviously a complex hormonal system with androgens or testosterone, estrogen, progesterone.
Okay.
And all three of them are super important for us to regulate our monthly cycle, help with fertility, and also they help when we're growing as teenagers to, develop our male and female characteristics. So they are really crucial. However, as we know, a lot of hormonal imbalances occur at lots of different times of our life. So in our teenagers, we get surging androgen hormones, but they can also fluctuate a lot because of the nature of the monthly cycle. Menopause as well. So we get androgen surges before our period. We can also have, hormonal breakouts, which can come at any time of our life because of surges in androgen hormones. And they're also related to, times where estrogen drops, that leaves a circulating level of androgens that's higher than, norm. So there's lots of ways that androgens can kind of increase and at different times in our life. But research has found that androgens are one of the most common causes of oily skin, breakouts, clogged pores, but also other symptoms like hirsutism, which is unwanted hair growth. And it could be, on the chin, as well as thinning hair on the head for both men and women.
Obviously, we'll discuss SkinClear Elixir, and I'm guessing the amount of research that you had to do behind that must have been really extensive. How did you kind of start with thinking, right, what's going to go into the formulation?
Well, first of all, I wasn't even thinking about developing a product. I was just thinking, how can I fix my skin? And that's where I started looking into the herbal solutions to balancing androgen hormones. And I came across saw palmetto berry, which is a herb native to Florida. And it's kind of a superhero ingredient for hormone balance. And I started taking that alongside a few other ingredients that had similar nutrient makeup to saw palmetto, because I like to be a bit creative and experiment with a few different things. And I didn't think anything was going to work, because nothing worked.
Well, I was going to say that obviously I think there is a lot of skepticism around natural ingredients and how can you achieve results through them.
Yeah. And I just tried so many non-natural solutions that I just thought, this is like a last resort for me. I'm just going to try this. If it doesn't work, that's it. But I was amazed, because within a few days, I wasn't getting any active blemishes popping up. And what that meant is that everything that was on my face was healing. And my red marks that were left behind were all that was kind of left. And gradually over time, those started to fade as well. So, my skin just got clearer and clearer and clearer as the days and weeks went on. And
I bet you couldn't believe it, that it was actually working, especially after a few days as well. That's incredible to see results that early, especially with something that is just natural, like 100% natural.
Yeah, I was really blown away, to be honest. And obviously my confidence just really improved then. And I felt like I could go out without makeup on and just, seize the day and go out in the sunshine and enjoy life again.
That's a big step, isn't it? When you can finally go out without makeup on.
Yeah.
I think, you spend so many years trying to cover every imperfection and blemish on your face.
Yeah.
And that day where you can just walk out and feel okay that people are looking at you without makeup on.
Yeah.
It's a huge step forward for yourself.
It was amazing. And now, like, I've come a long way in my mental health and my anxiety. So I would like to think that I will just go out without it and not, mind at all. So I've come a long way. And I think I wish I'd have spoken to my old self and said, you can still go out, like you don't need to hide. Yeah, it did transform my confidence.
Yeah, I guess that just shows the growth that you've gone on. Like you say, that you feel now like you could, the confidence that you've gained from it is brilliant.
Yeah, so it's not just having clear skin that gives me confidence now. Like, I think it's important to be more more rooted in having that confidence from within as well.
Yeah. Got a few Face the Future customer reviews of SkinClear Elixir to share with you. So Lise from Denmark says, it's a lifesaver.
Great.
Nice and simple.
Yeah.
Susan from Basingstoke says, my daughter has had problems with acne most of her teenage years. This product has helped immensely. Her skin is less inflamed. Spots are disappearing.
Great.
We are very pleased with the result. You must obviously hear so many stories like this.
Yeah.
And it must feel incredible when you get the feedback.
I think like the ones, all reviews mean so much to me, but I think the ones where it's a mother talking about the daughter and how, it's transformed their daughter's confidence, they mean so much to me now, especially because I'm a new mother. Well, I have a 2.5-year-old. Obviously, it's early days for that, but I can kind of imagine how that must feel, seeing your daughter get her confidence back.
Yeah.
So those reviews mean so much to me, but all reviews mean so much to me. So I'm really grateful when people write in to say their experience.
I think for mothers as well, they must love that they found a natural solution for it as well.
Yeah. I think it's quite reassuring to know that they're not, taking like Roaccutane and things that could really impact their mood and things like that. Yeah,
absolutely. So let's talk about Dragon's Den.
Okay.
I guess, how was it and how was the whole experience? I know you were approached in 2019 and decided to kind of back away from it at that point. So I kind of guess a bit about your story in general with Dragon's Den. Yeah,
sure. So I received an email inviting me to go on in 2019, and I just looked at it. I was like, there's no way that I could do that. Like, not a chance. I could go on TV. I think I was more scared about TV than the actual dragons, but both are quite scary.
So how was your skin at that point? What was your relationship with your skin like then?
It was good then, because it's been good ever since I found the solution.
Yes.
Obviously at the time of the month, sometimes I get like one popping up, but other than that, my skin has been consistently good. I can always, take the product as and when I need it as well. I had to take a break with pregnancy and breastfeeding, but my skin was good when they approached me.
So it was more just how you felt about the situation.
I'm just like quite a nervous person, so I don't like being on camera. So I was just nervous about being on TV and, having that focus on you. It's not my thing, really.
I mean, it's definitely one of the most daunting TV situations to be in, I reckon, Dragon's Den.
Yeah.
So that happened, and then did you reach out in terms, or did they get back in touch with you, or how did that happen?
2 years after that initial email, I thought he probably doesn't work there anymore, but I'm just going to send him a reply. And I replied to him for the first time and I said, better late than never. Are you still looking for, people to come on and film? And I got a reply saying, oh, I've actually moved up now in the business. However, here's the contact that you need. And so they put me in touch, and that's how I got the invitation to apply. And because of COVID, we still had to film the pitch instead of go and actually present.
Okay.
Yeah. So I filmed it in my living room.
How was that? It was a bit strange.
Well, I was looking after a dog at the time, and he was like the barkiest dog in the world. And I was trying to film before the sun went down. And so I was just in and out of like film, get the dog to be quiet, film. It was a bit hectic,
but it was obviously a good pitch because
I think it was good. Yeah. I had to do a lot of cutting of the dog barking.
Because you made it onto the show, which is incredible. Can you tell me a bit about that moment just before you went in front of the dragons?
Oh my gosh, I didn't sleep the night before. So I was really tired, and I just got there and I was terrified, but you have to wait for like 6 hours in the studio before you go on.
6 hours?
Yeah. You're not always, but I did because of my slot.
Yeah.
And so that was more nerve-wracking because I'm there in the studio, like pacing around the room.
Yeah.
And then when they said, you're going to be on in half an hour, I was really, really panicking.
That's when it kicked in.
I was literally pacing around in circles, like my heart was racing and I couldn't speak.
I'm sure everyone was the same though in that room in terms of...
No, because like there were other people in the room and they just weren't as nervous.
Yeah, maybe they had their game faces on.
Yeah, I think I need to be a bit better at like keeping a poker face.
Well, obviously you went in and you got some great kind of support from the dragons, which is brilliant. And you came out with the funding from 2 dragons.
Yeah.
How has that been since in terms of their support and everything that they've given you so far?
Yeah, so I get, regular contact with both Peter and Stephen's teams, and I have a monthly, catch-up call, and really, obviously they have a lot of expertise in lots of different areas. So whether it's retail, Peter's team have helped really well with getting some distribution, and Stephen's team, we're getting more support around social media. Yeah, I'm enjoying working with them both.
Yeah. I guess that first week when it aired, the episode, must have been a crazy time for you.
It was absolutely crazy for the business as well. I was kind of just sitting there. I didn't know how to expect. I was just sitting there watching my laptop, and it just went crazy. And it was only me. I didn't have any staff.
Wow.
So the first thing was like, oh my gosh, I need someone to help me with customer service. How can I get back to all these people? I can't do it on my own. So I had to like get someone in quickly to help me. And that was the first person I hired, was like customer service.
Wow. And is she still with you on here today? Amazing. That's brilliant. And you have a nice team now that you're developing, growing. Yeah. How's that been?
Oh, it's amazing. The girls that I work with are just such lovely people. Everyone is very much like behind the movement of empowering other women to feel confident in their skin. And I think we're kind of growing as a brand into the mission of, it's not just about clearing your skin. It's about feeling good in who you are and loving yourself. And all of the girls that work with me are very much, that way of thinking. So
I think that message is so important because like we've discussed with acne, and if you suffer from blemishes, it can be a long lasting kind of domino effect of other issues that come out of it. And normally if the, physical appearance has got improved, but, the mental side of it is still very much there. Yeah. So I agree completely that the message should be around self-confidence.
Yeah. It's like holistic. So we can help you with the actual skin issues themselves, but actually we need to approach the issue holistically, and we're working with a lot of girls who are promoting skin confidence at the moment. And I think that's so important to just put that message out.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the amount of obviously teens at the moment that will be on social media. Yeah. I think I saw this crazy filter the other day that was just ridiculous. It literally got rid of every imperfection on your face. And yeah, I think the more brands that can push that messaging, the better.
Yeah, because sometimes like we try and showcase all of our customers, people that have got, you know, their skin has gone from having breakouts to having clear skin, or having breakouts to having an improvement, and you're still seeing some of the breakouts. You know, it's not we don't want to just show perfect skin. We want to show all skin.
Yeah. Although your skin looks amazing.
So's yours.
Thank you. So, Caroline, I'm just going to go through dispelling a few myths with you and a few questions. Okay. So can men take the SkinClear Elixir?
Yeah, men can take SkinClear Elixir. The reason we recommend it mainly for women is because of the fact that it reduces a form of testosterone. There's theoretically a higher chance of unwanted effects from that. Like testosterone is obviously really important in muscle mass and sexual function in men. So theoretically, people might see issues in those departments, but we haven't actually had that reported. So we do say, you know, by all means, try taking maybe 1 capsule a day, which is half of the recommended dose for women. But these are the reasons why. So we kind of inform people, and it's up to them to make that decision.
Of course.
But we are looking to develop a male skin supplement. It's going to work on the hormones, but it's going to work in a less direct way. So we hope that it will be more of a holistic skin supplement for men.
Brilliant. That's exciting. Can you take the SkinClear Elixir whilst on the pill?
We don't recommend it with the combined pill. The reason being is the combined pill contains estrogen.
Yes.
And there is some research that suggests saw palmetto might have a small link with lowering estrogen.
Okay.
However, again, it's very theoretical, and we haven't had there's no evidence of this actually occurring in people. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where if you are thinking of taking it, we recommend speaking to a doctor first and just checking for, you know, any medical interactions. Yeah,
that makes sense. And how long does it take for SkinClear Elixir to work?
Yeah, so this is a difficult answer because everyone is different.
Yeah.
So, you know, my hormones will be different to your hormones. Our profiles are different. As we said before, there's 3 different hormones that are all constantly interacting with each other. Based on that, we can't give a definite answer. However, we have some people seeing results within a few weeks. Like myself, I was lucky to see results from saw palmetto within a few days. But then we have some people that are taking it for 4 months, and that's where the turning point is at month 4.
Yeah.
So we would say the average is between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, makes sense. Everyone's different, aren't they?
Yeah.
Everyone responds to things differently.
Yeah. So we try to say that the recommended minimum is 3 months. Okay. And that's when we recommend you should start seeing results by. But because hormonal issues or treating hormonal issues requires maintenance, we say that you should definitely continue it for at least 6 months, just because things can go back to how they were quite quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess with supplements, it's really important to be consistent as well with taking it.
Yeah.
I do struggle with that sometimes in terms of remembering to take it. So I guess, if you want to see best results, you need to be consistent.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons we've launched our 3-month starter kit, because it means that people don't have to remember to go and reorder. Yeah. They can just order 3 months in one go, and that will keep them going. They don't, they won't run out. So,
makes sense.
Yeah.
Good to help, isn't it? Yeah. Does it help with hair growth? Yeah.
So androgens or excess androgens can cause hair loss in both men and women. SkinClear Elixir can help with not only skin, but hair growth, keeping it strong and healthy, as well as other symptoms like mood changes, PMS symptoms, and PCOS as well.
Yeah, so, I hadn't even thought about that, but I guess if it, is balancing the hormones, then it makes complete sense.
Yeah, so we have lots of people using it, for quite a few different issues, as well as just acne, as well as just breakouts.
Yeah. Does it work for other skin concerns like psoriasis, rosacea? Have you seen any kind of examples of that?
So this is like a never say never thing, because I initially didn't have the evidence to be able to make those claims at all. Yeah. But we had a few customer reviews at the very beginning emailing me back to say, this has helped with my rosacea, this has helped with my eczema. So actually, I don't rule it out. It has helped people. So if there's a hormonal issue underlying it, then yeah.
Yeah, amazing. So let's go into the future.
Okay.
I've heard that you potentially might be working on a hair supplement.
Yeah, we're developing a hair growth supplement.
Exciting.
At the moment, yeah.
Can you tell me a bit more about that, or when you're looking to potentially launch?
Yeah, we're hoping within the next 4 months.
Oh, wow.
We've got a lot of different projects going on at the moment, so we're trying to juggle everything. But we've got a herbalist actually dedicated to new product development now.
Amazing.
Because I wanted to work with someone that's like an expert in the field. So, I want to put out the best products. I want to make sure that the products are working exactly as they should be and in targeting the issues that we're looking for. So she's a herbalist that she's very highly recommended.
Yeah.
So yeah, the product is really exciting and it's kind of works holistically as well as hormonally for hair loss.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Watch this space.
Yeah.
What does the future look like for Botanycl? Where do you want to see it go? And I guess future for you as well.
I have this vision of Botanycl being the go-to place for your plant-based supplements, but also somewhere that you can go to for a whole range of different health concerns.
Yeah.
And you can I have this vision once we've expanded the range of having an on-site herbalist that can help people and tailor their routine to them. So people could sign up for a consultation with them or even take an online assessment depending on what works best for them.
Yeah.
And then because of our range being much more extensive in the future, we could offer a really tailored approach for people with, a specific type of hormone imbalance or different age ranges, menopause. I have a big vision for the brand.
That's so exciting. I think absolutely advice is key now.
Yeah.
I think we're all learning and educating ourselves a lot more around skin and skincare and how to look after, but there's also still a lot out there that probably is misleading. And I think giving your customers and your community that extra support, similar to what we do at Face the Future, it's brilliant that, we have these experts. It's why would we not use them?
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
There's a lack of derms in the UK. There's a gap there that needs to be filled with brands like ourselves that are doing that extra work to ensure that we give our customers the support that they deserve.
For sure. Yeah.
Just on one final note, Caroline, for those that may be listening that are suffering with acne right now, what would you say to them and what advice would you give them?
I know it's easier said than done, but please try not to let it, not to let your skin get you down and affect your day-to-day life and your enjoyment of life. I think life is so short that we need to try and embrace as much happiness and draw as much happiness as we can from our life without letting kind of insecurities get in the way. And I know that's easier said than done because when I was 25, I did not take that advice on board, but I guess there was less of that advice out there. The skin positivity movement is so much bigger now that I think it's becoming easier to feel confident despite flaws. We all have flaws. I've got so many new flaws since giving birth and being a mum and, stretch marks all over my stomach. And I've just learned to embrace it all and just not let it affect who you are as a person.
Yeah, let's embrace it all. I agree. Thank you so much, Caroline, for joining me today. And I wish you all the best of luck with Botanycl.
Thank you. It's been great to be here.
Thank you. And thank you guys for listening. We'll put some links below for you to shop Botanycl at Face the Future. Please don't forget to follow Skincare and Beyond on your preferred channel. And we hope to see you really soon.